Hi there, and thanks for clicking on the video. This is footage from Raj's real driving test. At the end of the test, he only results in getting one drivable, and the examiner said it's a lovely drive. So if you watch this drive, you can see the standard they're looking for. As he comes out of the parking bay, he's asked to go towards the exit and turn left out of the car park onto the main road. Good positioning here, keeping to the left, allowing space for people to turn into the car park, as we do have to remember it's a two-way road. So turning left, so mirrors and signal done, slowing down and keeping near the curb, following the curb for a left turn. Come to a nice slow crawl and have a good check to make sure it's safe, as we are merged onto a 50-mile-an-hour road. So you want to think twice and decide once. What we mean by that is have a second check before you pull out. Don't rush out. Check again before you pull out. It's a very fast road we're merging onto. Raj has now been advised the independent drive is about to start. We're now looking to follow the signs towards Crawley until directed otherwise. As it's in the summer, the trees are quite overgrown here and we can't quite read the sign. So the examiner does ask for Raj if he saw the sign properly. Raj confirms he did. We're following the road ahead, second exit. New road, new speed, 30 miles per hour. Keeping to the left lane, checking it's safe and keep to the extreme left as we enter the roundabout. Mirrors and signal left exit. Importantly, keep to the extreme left when we enter the roundabout to allow vehicles to be next to us and turn right. Great bit of speed choice here from Raj, keeping within the speed limit and also slowing slightly for the vehicles here. Always being on the defensive. What if they turn in front of us? Can we stop in time? It's really great driving there. So now we're looking for Crawley, remember. So looking at the sign, it's turning right, the third exit, Crawley A23. Now if you don't understand that road sign, make sure you check out my video about 5 things you didn't know about road signs. It will explain it there. So, turning right, so mirrors done, signal on. Slowing down, checking to the right, it all looks good, so off we go in gear 2 at this point. Keeping to the right, there's the first exit. Notice our road markings confirming we're in the correct lane for Crawley A23. Easing off the gas, are the lights going to change? Now we're committed. Here's the second exit coming up. So, coming round the corner, we can now see the road markings. We could go to the left lane at this point to come off of Crawley. Raj does get a little bit unsure here though, so he carries on round the roundabout. Good decision, because he wasn't confident that was his exit. The examiner then steps in at this point and just advises Raj, just carry on round the roundabout, do another loop, that'll be fine. And please always do try to remember it's perfectly fine to go round the roundabout if you're not sure where you're going. Obviously make sure you're in the right lane for doing this, do not do this from the left lane. But if you're in the right lane, just carry on round the roundabout if you're not sure about your exit. The last thing you want, and the last thing the examiner wants to see, is you steering off a roundabout at the last moment without checking effectively and without being sure of where you're going. You've got to be 100% sure before you do something. So here's where we entered from, where this lorry's coming from on the left. So we're looking for the third exit for Crawley. There's the first exit. Again, road markings confirming the correct lane at the moment for Crawley A23. And off we go. Lights are green ahead, so anticipating they could change. Just checking our middle mirror, just easing off the gas a bit, being ready to stop in case they change again. Traffic's starting to build up a bit here, so Raj has a good decision to ease off a bit there and hold back, as we don't want to get stuck anywhere that could be blocking the traffic pulling out from the left. So we don't want to be stopped here, not here, not here, not here. But where Raj reaches here is fine. So traffic coming from the entrance from the left wouldn't be obstructed where we are at the moment. So good planning there from Raj, really great. So the traffic starts to move now. Now need to be very aware of the traffic coming from our left because their lights have just gone green. So we're checking our middle and left mirror, putting the left signal on, middle and left mirror, and then Raj decides to come off in the right lane. That's perfectly fine. He could have gone to the left lane there as it was clear, but coming off the right lane is fine. Just make sure you move back to the left lane after the roundabout like he executes here. Did you notice the new speed limit on the new road? If not, rewind the video and see if you can spot it. It's now national speed limit, 70 miles per hour. So at this point, Raj gets asked to show me how you would open your window. Raj opens his window and then closes again. Under full control, the car stays very straight, very stable, great control. Speed limit changing to 50 miles an hour. Warning of traffic lights ahead. So always remember these signs are here for a reason. So if you see a sign, consider why it's there and what you might need to do. So Raj spots the sign, checks his mirror, and then eases off the gas. The light's on green, so it could change at any point. So be ready to stop. Be ready to stop. Now you're committed. It's too late to stop at this point. Please now follow the signs towards Gatwick, remarks the examiner. So Gatwick, looking at the road sign, that's straight ahead, second exit. So checking our mirrors, see what's going on behind us. Is there anyone close behind us that's going to cause us a problem when we slow down for the roundabout? Looking at the road markings, this lane goes straight ahead, let's stay in this lane. So we've got good vision to the right here. So we're scanning across the grass, national speed limit on the new road. Scanning across that grass, seeing if it's safe to go. Is it safe to go straight away? Not quite yet, so just wait for these cars to pass. Into gear 1, getting ready to go. So gas and biting point. We've got a gap coming, here it is, so off we go. Keeping to the extreme left of the roundabout. Mirrors and signal left as we pass the first exit. New road, new speed. No speed limit changes here. So it's still national speed limit, 70 miles an hour, as signposted, approaching the roundabout. Do remember, it's a speed limit, not a speed target. So even though the speed limit's 70 miles per hour here, Raj gets nowhere near 70. But it's not a fault, because it's not appropriate to go 70 at the moment, because there's another roundabout coming up quite soon. So, at the roundabout, we're looking to go towards Gatwick. Now, Raj notices the road markings and notices the left lane is left only, and the right lane goes ahead. He also notices Gatwick is following the road ahead, so he moves to the right lane. So you can see how far ahead Raj was looking there. You might not have even seen the sign for Gatwick by the time he started moving lane, so great planning ahead there from Raj. What do you think of this white car in the left lane? Should they be stopped over the crossing like that? So, following the road ahead. So we're slowing down, going to gear 1, making sure we wait for the vehicle in front to proceed onto the roundabout before we go. Lots of accidents happen because people rear end the car in front. They accelerate into the car in front because they assume the car in front has gone because there's a gap. So we must wait for that car in front to enter the roundabout before we think about going. So, middle mirror, left signal, and back to the left lane. So remember that right lane is just for overtaking and turning right, none of which we're doing, so we must get back to that left lane. So we can allow, for example, this van to overtake us. More warning signs for traffic lights. So check on our middle mirror, being aware of anyone might be particularly close behind us. As if this light was on green and it suddenly changed to red, we don't want to be braking hard for the car behind. We want to be reducing our speed on approach so we don't have to brake hard. Still anticipating that light could change. Do not assume it's going to stay green. Always expect it to change. Now we're committed. Keeping a great distance from this lorry in front, because with this lorry in front, what problems is it causing? Well, we can't see ahead. We don't know what's in front of it. There could, for example, be a broken down car on the road. We wouldn't know. So by holding back, we can improve our vision and give ourselves more time to react appropriately and smoothly and calmly also. We don't want to be reacting aggressively and harshly when we're driving. It can add lots of dangers there. So, looking ahead, we've got some more traffic lights. Just checking our mirror for anyone particularly close behind. They're on red at the moment, so braking nice and smoothly to give all the vehicles behind plenty of time to react to us, reducing that risk of us being hit from behind. Also keeping back from the lorry, great decision here. Again, you can't see in front of the lorry, don't want what's happening in front of the lorry. Again, great decision here to hold back from the lorry, make sure we can clear that yellow box. Yep, we can clear it, now we commit to it. So remember, we're looking to follow signs towards Gatwick. Let's see where it is at this next roundabout. So looking at the road sign, it's following the road ahead, second exit. So we're going to keep in the left lane, as this roundabout's different to the previous one. What's different from the previous one? Well, go and have a look back at it. The previous one, the left lane was clearly marked as left only, so we had to use the right lane to go ahead. This one, there's no road marking saying that, so the normal rules apply. Left lane for following the road ahead. So mirrors and signal and new road, new speed, it remains at 50 miles an hour. At this point, the examiner now says to please follow the signs towards the M23. So we're looking for M23, so it's going to be in blue on the road signs. That can make it a bit easier to spot if we're looking for blue on the road signs. So it's ahead, third exit. A slight bit of confusion here from Raj. Because it's third exit, he thinks about moving to the right lane. It's not actually possible for him to do it though, because there's a car right next to him. That's why there's a little bit of a swerve with his steering here. He doesn't actually need to do this though, so we look at the board here. Both the middle lane and the right lane go towards the M23. And look at the board on the left there, see if you can see it. The left lane becomes the middle lane. The left lane splits and becomes the middle lane. So staying in the left lane would be perfectly fine. You can then see, because there's slight confusion, this is why he moves to the right lane at this point. Because you might be watching the video thinking, why is he moving to that right lane? Well, like I say, he just got a little bit confused with the road positioning. He doesn't realise at this point and sees M23 is also the middle lane and gets a little bit of frustration to himself, but he does manage to keep his cool and manages to do the rest of the roundabout really well. So do remember, if you get in not the perfect lane on approach to the roundabout, just stick with it. Stay calm and be confident. This lane actually works. It just comes off in the overtaking lane. New road, new speed, national speed limit. So because we're in the overtaking lane, we'll look to move back to the left lane when it's safe to do so. Just in your own time, don't rush it. Just check those mirrors, put that signal on, check those mirrors again, and then move to the left lane when it's safe to. Now, the examiner could have potentially given a minor fault for that roundabout. Not for the fact he went to the right lane, because that's fine, that lane still worked. But the fact that he swerved a little bit on approach to the roundabout as he was about to move to the right lane and thought, oh, there's a car next to me, and had to swerve back. So he could have given a minor for that, but the examiner decided not to. Can you see the road sign here? Nor can I barely. So the examiner advises Raj, it's following the road ahead, second exit for the M23. So we've got the countdown markers, 300 yards away. Another countdown marker, 200 yards away. Road markings, lane goes ahead and left, so we can stick to this lane. Ahead and left again is confirmed. Some great forward planning here from Raj. While setting his traffic queue, he takes the opportunity to look ahead and plan ahead and think about where he's going and where he needs to position. So we're in these traffic queues, don't just sit there and fall asleep. Think about your next few steps. What are you going to do next? This can significantly reduce the chance of you making a mistake. So you can now see the roundabout splits into three lanes, and he's going ahead. He wants to go into the middle lane as he enters the roundabout, as the left lane is left only. So we're checking to the right, looking for our gap, and can we go? Yep, we can, straight away. It's good planning there. So into this lane, easing off the gas, keeping to the outside lane to come around the roundabout, watching that lorry. Is he going to pull out? Nope, we're good. Noticing the hatch markings to our left. Do not cross those, that's a filter lane. The traffic in that left lane will not give way to you. You must avoid crossing those markings there. Now, we're in the right lane. What's the right lane for? Well, overtaking. We're not overtaking anyone. So middle mirror, left signal, back to the left lane. Do of course make sure you've checked those mirrors a few times before committing to moving lanes. By checking a few times, it will help ensure that you've judged the speed and distance of the vehicles next to you accurately. Now Raj is one and only driver fault coming up. Let's see if you can spot it. I'll let you know what it is after it happens. So the examiner now says that's the end of the independent drive. I'm going to direct you as normal. I'd like to take the next exit off the dual carriageway towards Pound Hill. So Raj sees the exit coming up soon, checks his mirrors, and signals left. Currently doing about 55 miles an hour. He then slows down to about 45 miles an hour, down to about 40, and then exits the dual carriageway. He's then asked to turn right at the end of the road. So he checks his middle and right mirror, signals right, and moves to the right lane. So, did you spot what the fault was? Well, the fault was he slowed too much before exiting the dual carriageway. Yes, he slowed too much. The whole point of a slip road is to maintain your speed as you exit the dual carriageway, so not to slow the traffic on the main carriageway. So you should have stayed about 55 or 60 on the main carriageway and then reduce his speed after he took the slip road, so not to slow the traffic on the main carriageway. Did you spot the speed limit for this road? If not, rewind the video, see if you can find it. It's going to be as he approaches that T-junction. That's where the speed limit changes to be. When there's a new road, there might be a new speed. Really important you spot those speed limit changes, as if you're merged onto a 70 mile an hour road, for example, you really need to know the traffic could be coming at 70 miles per hour. The examiner now asks Raj to pull up on the left in a safe place, having checked his mirrors and put his signal on, and then slows down, gets near the curb, and pulls over in a safe place. Now, I'm quite aware it's quite a busy road, this, but the examiners will sometimes ask you to stop on busy roads to make sure you can stop and start in flowing traffic, as that does assess your skills a lot more than just stopping and starting on a quiet housing estate. Thank you. Drive on when you're ready, remarks the examiner. Raj waits for his safe opportunity by checking his mirrors. And when he gets his opportunity, checks his blind spot, puts his signal on, and he's off. At the roundabout, turn right, third exit. Middle mirror, right signal. Stay near the centre line for turning right to get into the right lane approaching the roundabout. Slowing it down to check to the right and then stopping for the traffic coming from the right. Into gear 1 and looking for opportunities to go. And off we go. A slight misjudgment of his steering here as he comes round. And he does check his mirrors and signals a bit late to exit the roundabout. So this again could potentially be given as a minor fault, but as the roundabout's quite a quiet roundabout, the examiner decides to give nothing. If this is on quite a major roundabout, maybe on a dual carriageway, he might have got a minor or even a serious fault if there was something next to him. As you will see, Raj has once again been asked to pull up on the left in a safe place. Again, on quite a busy road, but we're not stopping here for long. We're just stopping as if we're dropping off a passenger and then we're off again. So drive on when you're ready. So checking your mirrors, looking for those opportunities to pull away, blind spot, signal on, and off we go. Good control of his speed here as we're on a 30 mile per hour road. If we did miss the sign, we can tell this because there's street lighting on this road. If there's street lighting in a built up area, so when we mean built up area, there's houses nearby and footpaths, then the speed limit is 30 unless signposted otherwise. If this road was a 40 mile per hour road, there would be clear signs saying 40, every maybe 5th or 6th lamppost. Good positioning here from Raj. Lots of people get a bit confused here when the road splits into two lanes and they keep to the right. We must remember the right lane is for overtaking and turning right unless road marked or signposted differently. We can see here on the road markings, the left lane goes ahead, so we should be picking that lane unless we're looking to overtake this taxi. Keeping this speed slow here, as the green lights ahead could change at any moment. There's also quite a lot of traffic, so we'll be holding back from this taxi so we don't end up stuck in the middle of a junction on a yellow box. And as lights change to green, I personally will be holding further back from this taxi to make sure I can definitely clear the yellow box. As with that taxi in front, our view is a bit restricted, so we couldn't be 100% sure we could clear that yellow box. Are the lights going to change? They've been on green quite a while. Always be ready to stop. Failure to stop at traffic lights is one of the top reasons people fail their driving test. So you've really got to be on the ball when thinking about it. So are they going to change? Be ready. Now we're committed. Looking at the road signs, we can see end of dual carriageway, and looking at the road markings, the lanes merging. So Raj checks his middle and right mirror for any traffic that could be overtaking him. Did you also notice the speed limit change back there? It's now 40 miles per hour. At the roundabout or square about, whatever you want to know it as, I'd like you to follow the road ahead towards Furnace Green. Good positioning here, keeping in the left lane. Down to gear 2, checking to the right, and off we go. Keeping the left lane. The left lane will take us where we need to go. Keeping to the extreme left as we come round the corner, so not to cut up any cars that might be next to us. Just stay in this lane. You could do a left signal here. Raj doesn't because it's not really essential. So perfectly fine if you do it, perfectly fine if you don't do it. At the roundabout, turn left, first exit. Middle mirror, left signal. Starting to ease off our gas and scanning across the roundabout to see if we can go. Are we looking good? Yes, we are. New road, new speed, 30 miles per hour. I would like to pull up on the left, just behind the next parked car. Get reasonably close to it, but do please give yourself enough room to pull away. Thank you. Drive on when you're ready. Really important Raj does his blind spot check here, as if you rewind the video, you'll notice that parking bay is directly opposite a junction. So if he didn't check his blind spot, he would not have noticed any cars pulling out from that junction. At the roundabout, turn right. Mirrors checked, signal on, keeping near the centre line, position in the right lane to turn right. Looking for our gap on approach, can we go after this black car? Yes, we can, keeping near the roundabout. Middle mirror, left signal, and exiting the roundabout. Personally, here I would have stopped for the oncoming vehicle, as it's a little bit narrow for two cars to fit through. There is room, but you have to get quite close to the parked car, which has the risks of them opening their door and then hitting you. So if we can avoid it, we try not to get too close to the parked cars. I'd now like to pull up on the right in a safe place. Middle mirror, right signal, and pulling across to the right side of the road. The examiner now kindly steps in and asks Ross to drive a bit more forward to get nearer the bus stop, as we're a bit near the junctions. This will then make the exercise quite difficult. Thank you. Now I'd like to reverse back for 2 to 3 car lengths, keeping reasonably close to the curb. So if Raj was near those junctions, He could have ended up reversing across the junction on the right. This is why the examiner stepped in and asked him to drive further forwards. So some good compliments here to the examiner for stepping in and helping Raj in this situation. So now we're in reverse gear, we've checked all round and we're starting to reverse back, keeping near that curb. Keeping our head on the swivel, checking right blind spot, right mirror, ahead, middle mirror, left blind spot. Stopping for any traffic when it comes towards us. And it's safe to move again. Having done all those checks again to make sure it's safe. Carrying it back nice and slowly for 2 to 3 car lengths. We've got another vehicle coming towards us here, so we need to stop for this one, so not to worry them and not scare them. At this point, the examiner says, "Thank you, that will do there. Please drive on when you're ready." Having had a good check of his mirrors and his blind spot, Raj pulls away. Again, really important to do the left blind spot check there, as there's a junction in that left blind spot. It's also important to always signal when you're pulling up on the right or pulling away from the right, as you are switching lanes. When pulling over, you're going from the left lane to the right lane. When you're pulling away, you're moving from the right lane to the left lane. So I would always advise you to signal when pulling up on the right. Could you pull up on the left, just near the big tree, please? Mirrors checked, signal on, gently slowing down, looking to stop near this big tree. So we're stopping here to do a bit of a hill start. Thank you, drive on when you're ready. Middle mirror, right blind spot, signal on, and off we go. At the end of the road, turn left. New road, new speed. So mirrors, signal, keeping near the curb, following the contour of the curb, and slowing right down as the vision to the right is restricted. Also being quite careful because we merged onto a 40-mile-an-hour road, so traffic's coming a bit faster here. At the traffic lights, turn left. Middle mirror, left signal. New road, new speed. Keep to the left lane, slowing down nice and gently as the lights are on red. Making sure we're keeping on the correct traffic light here, as I was a little bit concerned as Raj was looking at the traffic light on the right, and that's for people in the right lane. But he was also watching the other traffic lights, so he does notice when his one goes green. If he was just looking at that traffic light on the right, he would have missed his light going green and he would have failed. I must remember next time not to doubt Raj. He clearly knew what he was doing here. So we're glancing to the right, checking for any emergency vehicles that might be going through the red light. Avoiding the bus lane here, as these bus lanes in Crawley are operational 24/7. If they're only operational some times, they would have signs telling you about their hours of operation. Good positioning here when the lights change, keeping to the right, keeping near that curb in the centre of the road, as we need to give space for people to be next to us who are turning left. So keeping near that curb, near that centre line. Do you remember what the last speed limit sign was? If you're not sure, look at the clues here. You've got street lighting with no sign saying 40 miles per hour. You've got bus lanes, you've got footpaths. It's also a fairly busy road, so we can estimate it's a 30-mile-per-hour road. I know this road may seem long, straight, and we can see really far, and really far to the sides as well, not just ahead. But we have to remember, speed limits are there for a reason. And often the problem is, we might not understand that reason. For example, on this road, the reason why it's 30 is because there's a school to the left of us. And in the past, many children have been hit when crossing the road at these exact traffic lights. So reducing the speed limit, we're reducing the chance of hitting a child or hitting a pedestrian crossing the road trying to rush to get their bus. At the roundabout, turn left, the first exit towards Brighton. So we've got the bus lane next to us, so we're going to have to cross that at some point. So middle mirror, left signal. Looking for any buses that might be in that bus lane, we're going to have to cross soon. Slowing it down on the approach, having a final check of those mirrors before we move across the bus lane. Also having a check in our blind spot. And looking for our gap, and off we go. So all the observations there were spot on from Raj, all done exactly as I said them. New road, new speed. Did you spot the speed limit sign as you enter that road? If not, you need to watch out more for them, otherwise you're going to be a bit doubtful of what your speed limit is here. So just on our way back to the test centre now. So the next bit of drive is not too interesting, just basically going in a straight line. So I thought I'd just give a bit of information about Raj's driving history. So Raj actually originally drove in India and then did some driving in America. So he's come over to the UK now and living in the UK, and he's done some lessons to be able to get his UK licence. At first, we discussed about how many lessons he might need, and he thought he might just need a few lessons, but after a few lessons, he soon realised how much there is to think about when driving in the UK, particularly around Crawley, because all the roundabouts and junctions are all different. You can't apply the same rule to every single roundabout. You have to really be on your toes, looking around, scanning, planning, and thinking ahead. I think in the end we did just under 20 hours of lessons to get him to this standard. So, looking for any speed limit signs here, we can see it changing to 50 miles an hour. Well, I say changing, it actually was 50 miles an hour. Now he starts to get a little bit close to the vehicle in front as they're going a little bit slow. They're sitting at about 30 miles per hour on the 50 mile per hour road. So Raj considers overtaking, he checks his mirrors, starts to put his fingers near the indicator. The examiner then jumps in and says, we're following the road ahead at the next roundabout. It's coming up quite soon. So this is a hint from the examiner. Raj takes this hint and stays behind this vehicle because he doesn't want to overtake and then ends up in the right lane when he's looking to go ahead at the roundabout. And then have that awkward moment when he realises, oh, I need to be in the left lane. And then there's always that risk of the temptation to cut back into the left lane and cut up the vehicle. So we're going ahead, second exit towards Services Peas Pottage. Here's the sign. If you don't understand that sign, have a look at that video I mentioned earlier. 5 things you didn't know about road signs. It will really help you to understand. Did you notice the speed limit change there to 30 miles per hour? Raj did. So scan to the right, looking for our gap. It's not safe to go, so we're going to have to stop and wait. We can see now the road markings confirming we're in the correct lane for Services Peas Pottage. So some people would debate the bigger roundabouts are harder, but in some ways they're easier, because on the bigger roundabouts you have more road signs and more road markings to help you. So as long as you're looking for those clues, the bigger roundabouts can often be easier. Almost back to the test centre, make sure you keep your concentration. The speed limit's 30 miles an hour here, so make sure you stick to that speed limit. It's just there temporarily while they're building some houses and building a new roundabout here. It's not always going to be 30 here. And it's not a very long road at all. So you're not going to lose any time just by sticking to 30 just for a few hundred feet. At the roundabout, follow the road ahead, second exit. Mirrors checked, keeping to the left lane near the curb. Is it safe? Yes, it is. Keep an extreme left, mirrors, signal, new road, new speed, 50 miles per hour. Almost back to the test centre now. Keep your concentration, you're almost there. Take the next road on the right. Mirrors, signal right, stay near the centre line to allow motorcycles to overtake you on the left while you're waiting to turn right. We've got a gap coming up, so into first gear, and off we go. Coming in nice and slow, keep your calm. Checking for any traffic from the left or right, coming nice and slowly around the corner, Keeping tight to that curb. Oh, great decision, keep tight to that curb. There's an oncoming car coming. If he would have gone too wide or too fast, he could have failed his test right at the end, at the last moment. So keep your concentration. And now pull forward into any bay. This is not a manoeuvre, so it doesn't matter if you're not in the lines perfectly, but try to be, but if not, don't stress about it. Put that handbrake on, put it into neutral, turn off the engine, now you can relax. So only switch off when you switch off.